Good morning and welcome. We're back again for another wonderful day of ESL One Genting group stage. I nearly said qualifiers then. My brain's like, qualifiers throughout the past 6 months have been crazy. But no, we're here at the main of, oh Jesus, it's going to be a long morning, isn't it? We're not at the main event. We're in Berlin from the studios. Remote stream from the group stages.
It's early.
Head into the draft. It is early in the morning. My brain is like, formulate sentences now. Let's go.
See, I'm like that until I get into Dota. Like, my brain doesn't really work until I start seeing something that I'm very familiar with, you know? So at least we are going to see quite a few of those things. We're going to see Alpha Earth Spirit. Very familiar with that one. And they're also running a first phase Death Prophet pickup.
Oh, yeah.
They're playing against Tiny, and they're playing against a Night Stalker as well. The Night Stalker is really, really good for bringing down the Death Prophet in many ways. It forces her to use the Yule Scepter very early. If she doesn't have one, she may be in big trouble, in fact. We're going to see what kind of second support LGD are going to run with this DP. We saw Oracle yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely a combination that you can play. Not very common, though. But we'll see if they want to play it towards something even like a Dazzle or SD. You need some form of save. That's typically what you draft with a DP.
Especially when you've got DDC.
Make sure, yeah.
You've got DDC on your team as well, right? He's been the king of the Dazzle and the Oracle for quite some time.
Oh, yeah.
You really do think of saving supports when DDC is there in the drafting seat. So we'll look towards that. And Mineski, you know, we talked about this pretty much all of yesterday, that Tiny can fit into any role, and we know that Mineski can pretty much play it in any role. I know Jabs has played it a bunch in pubs as the 4 role. Of course, Ice can just pick up any hero he wants and go into the offlane.
I'm sure that's what he does, actually, on his practice days. He just okay, which hero today? Winter Wyvern, let's go.
Can I play this in the offlane?
Yeah.
Let's see.
It was quite fun watching him play Winter Wyvern yesterday, and Mineski, they had a little bit of a blunder. We have to call it quite a huge blunder, actually, where they made several mistakes in a quick succession, which led to people not having buyback and the game just being abruptly over in what looked like potentially a good late game for them. They had a really farmed Mjolnir Winter Wyvern. They had TB who was going out of control, but they messed up a little bit towards the late game, and we'll see if they can stay sharp throughout the entirety of this one.
Yeah, of course, you know, it's kind of best of ones, first game of the tournament, first game of the day and all of that. You can definitely give a bit of leeway here to Mineski, but now we're into that elimination zone. This is where things get super serious, and you've got to start thinking about these best of 3s with your tournament life on the line. Of course, you know, worth pointing out, LFY, we didn't see them yesterday, but they did drop 1-0 to Newbie, and of course they've swapped a player out and a player in. OP has joined LFY. Do you think this is an upgrade potentially from Super, or just a different style?
It's a very different style. So OP, typically the players in the Chinese region get pretty known for playing a certain style. However, more recently, a lot of them have broken out of their box, so to say. Super learned to play a lot more risky heroes as well, where you used to play more safe stuff. But OP comes with a little bit of a different play style in general. I want to say his TA play is really good. His Shadow Fiend is notorious, and those are like 2 big heroes, but they gotta play the Death Prophet in this game.
Yeah, like when I think of OP, I think of kind of lane dominating heroes, you know, like Tinker, DP, bit of Viper here and there, SF. You know, win the lane.
He's quite an aggressive player in general. He likes to take control, and they're gonna play They're going to play the Witch Doctor. Fairly good save in the sense that you have Cask, but you have no actual disruption, no repel available as well, since Omni was banned out. It's not going to be the easiest to save the DP if she does get caught out here, just looking at the 2 supports you already have.
Yeah, and against the Night Stalker and Tiny, these guys can hunt heroes like Witch Doctor pretty nicely, right? You know, you'll have Blink, Avatos, and Tiny. Night Stalker can come in with a Void or an Urn or something. And Witch Doctor being super squishy, really no way to save himself as Mineski come back out with a Rubik pick. Pretty good against the DP and the Witch Doctor. And you've got that lift to cancel Death Ward, you've got that instant initiation to kind of catch DP before or during the ulti. You can steal Exorcism relatively nicely. Not so great with spells to steal for the Earth Spirit. You know, you don't want to be picking up a Rolling Boulder without having the actual stone to put down.
It can be annoying. You can, however, kick his stones if you get the smash. You can use them to stun, but definitely not so good against Earth Spirit in general. However, there's another interaction between Earthspirit and Rubik that makes him quite good. The null field is actually very good at protecting your entire team when the magnetize goes down. So that's a little bit of a tough thing for Earthspirit to kill a team that's protected by that aura. But they do have good disables on both teams here. Both teams have silences and stuns already secured, and Batrider gets picked up. Okay, so you already see that there's going to be a Rubik and a Night Stalker, meaning there's a harder time for this team to pick some hard counter to the Batrider. Like, Oracle is not going to be easy to play. Even fitting an Abaddon or Legion into this lineup could be difficult if they're intending to run an offlane Tiny. Then they can't quite fit that.
And then it also kind of forces you into the mindset of picking, you know, like a Juggernaut or a Lifestealer or something to deal with bat and lane potentially as well.
Exactly, and it's also just fitting very well into LFY's lineup. Something that LFY are really often good at doing when they draft is they don't over-focus on what the enemy are drafting, and instead they come up with a nice 5-man lineup of their own. Because this is something that some teams overreact a little bit too much, with several of their picks just being direct counter picks. But LFY are focusing on having their mechanisms work. So what they have right now is DP. She's the heart of the push. She wants to set up. But it can be hard to just walk up on high ground, right? So now you have Batrider who can initiate. He can pull someone down, start the fight, or just threaten to do so while the DP is more safely sieging the high ground. And there we go. Like you said, Lifestealer gets picked up. Not an uncommon matchup. If you see a Batrider, typically you pick a Lifestealer or a Juggernaut. Those are the two go-to heroes as they can purge off. Even PL.
We used to see Slark, but not anymore.
No.
He's not a hero anymore.
Yeah, people are not playing him anymore.
I've seen some pros in pubs toying with the Battle Fury Slark, but it's just not good.
See, I've had so many people ask me about that one, but I have never actually seen it.
Oh, really?
And that kind of speaks towards the quality of something, when it's like everyone's curious about it, but no one in the circuits that I'm watching.
I don't think I've seen it.
I haven't seen it in any competitive game or anything, but I am familiar that it's an American invention, right?
Yeah.
But
well, to be fair, I've seen Mason play Ogre with Battle Fury as well in the one role.
Honestly, in this patch, it's not a bad idea to try Battle Fury on most melee heroes.
Any melee hero.
And some of the range heroes. Let's go.
Yeah. But yeah, like you're saying, DP lineups really do thrive on like getting numbers advantages. You know, you get one pick off, turn it into a tower or a Roshan. You get the full mileage out of your exorcism, which is pretty nice.
We see a combination as well getting banned out here that we saw yesterday. The Tiny Shadow Fiend hard carry combo, the mid and the carry. In this game, of course, Tiny is going to be played more as an active role, and Lifestealer is going to be a carry, but still, Shadow Fiend would have been a very strong center for Mineski. And also can be quite an obnoxious hero to play Batrider against. If he goes for a Spellcaster build, you'll actually struggle to catch him once he has the Linken's Yules.
Well, they'll finish things off with a Moon Puck. I was just thinking as well about potential of a Tinker to come out from Mineski, and I guess Batrider is a kind of great deterrent for that, right? So that fourth pick Batrider just ticks so many boxes for me, and now coming out with a CK as the final one, not something that we see as commonly anymore, but used to be a huge pick in China and give you a ton of push now.
Still a very strong hero that a lot of people fear, and very often we see CK ban in the second phase against teams that are notorious for playing it, at least in the European scene. And the same thing in China, they play it a lot as a last pick kind of thing. And this is a great scenario for it. He really burst down the Rubik super hard. Lifestealer is not a good carry matchup against the CK. If you ever get grabbed by the Batrider into a chain stun by CK, you're most likely going to die from the Phantasm. It dishes out some hard damage. However, they do have like Puck and Tiny for AoE, but that's not so much.
It isn't, right? And early game in the laning phase, Tiny kind of thrives in his lanes where he can 1v2. Get some denies, get a bit of harass, get some CS and levels.
And playing a low armor hero against CK is scary.
Exactly. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, CK Witch Doctor, that's a kill lane on the Tiny. Tiny's going to kind of struggle in there with Reality Rift plus Maledict.
It definitely could. So a lot comes down to Ninja Boogie actually offsetting this, because if you just throw Ice Tiny on the off lane and put him against DDC and Monet right now, that's going to be a hard matchup.
Impossible, almost.
Yeah, pretty much. Especially with the Maledict potentially being level up on level 1 already, and then you just Reality Rift or even stun and kill. So from level 2 and onwards, that lane is near suicide. But we'll see what they can do. With Night Stalker, you can offset a lot of lane balances. So both teams got what they what they wanted here, but I think I favor the IG draft a little bit more. Or IG. Oh, sorry. It's
That's
just
OP.
It's OP.
There.
OP's bringing IG into it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's hard to say OP without IG, dude.
Look at that Monet.
That was half his name.
Yeah, it was. It was half
when
his
you
name.
have such a short name.
Building pipe of insight, building mechanism. Monet. I didn't even know these were chat wheel commands that existed, to be honest. Bole, good luck, have fun. Malaysia Bole, nice. Mineski getting into the minds of the fans. Get that crowd going. Get the love of the Malaysians behind them as LFY. What are we looking at here? 5-man smoke from Mineski coming all the way down into the bottom lane. Monet safely tucked away in the trees, though not going to show himself at all, while the rest of LFY start swinging themselves up towards top. Ward down already.
They did see him, so they know the lanes are pretty much as expected. It's a safe lane CK, so that's a little bit of information for him at least. Other than that, nothing much. Looks like they want to pull the lane with Night Stalker, most likely, since he has boots and 6 armor. He could just sit down there and pull the creeps on first wave.
We'll drag it back for the Tiny to get level 2 or so.
Exactly, and just offset the farm of the CK a little bit by farming between towers.
Oh, well, see what they get up to. DDC's Witch Doctor's going to babysit and bodyguard that wave for now.
Yeah, it can still be hard against the Night Stalker, but he actually ran away. So he's going towards top lane already, realizing that maybe Batrider is what I should be focusing first.
Well, Batrider in flame, getting chunked down here, and the lift is there into the tower range. Down he goes. First blood. Now the TP's immediately towards the tier 1. Very quickly from Jabs there to grab this wave and make sure it doesn't reach the tower.
A little bit unfortunate both of them used their TP, but it doesn't really matter at all unless the lifesteal somehow gets killed. Speaking of that, Tiny, Ice.
He tried to pull the wave as well, it looks like.
It's a dangerous business to get into, you know? Teams are really getting used to this, that the offlaner wants to do this because the offlane is typically not easy in this patch if you don't do it. So a lot of people are gonna die like that.
Mineski do get that kill first, and they get to kind of reset their lane equilibrium a little better here. Or a lot better, actually. Look at LFY. The double wave is coming.
Yeah, LFY are pushing super hard. This is still damage done by Ice. And they're going to have to pull the lane top. They're going behind again, trying to get this kill. They found Batrider.
Oh, Jabs. Thinking about the lift now back into the arms of Mushi. And Ninja Boogie's here as well. Batrider's, gone again. Too far forward, not expecting the double backstab, right? Jabs and Ninja Boogie both coming in from behind. Very sneaky.
Yeah. He was in a good position there with Night Stalker, and this can get real tough because the lane balance is not where the Batrider wants it. And Bat needs at least level 3 if he's gonna think about jungling. So he needs to find a way to stay on the lane. He's like 20 seconds until rune. I guess I'll just sit here.
I know that feeling.
This is tough to watch. He's not getting much, and meanwhile,
if Ninja Boogie comes and steals this, I don't know, you just leave the game or something, honestly.
Yeah, and there is a very real possibility. He has no point in sticky napalm, so he can't really fight against this Night Stalker.
Well, thank you very much. Ninja Boogie takes the bounty rune. Batrider's got nothing to do. We did see a bit of an attempt to go in on ISSI's bottom lane, but LFY unable to really connect with all 3 of their heroes. Just the Earth Spirit and the CK trying to give it a go again now with a 1-second stun. The roll arrives. The boulder smash into the Maledict. Damage output looking good, but a tree block from Ice. Can he get himself out of this? Oh, I don't know. The Fairy Fire is sick. Monet's dropping low, dying to the tower, but Ice didn't get that tree grab throw off.
Yeah, even if he did, he wouldn't quite kill him with it. He wanted to get one more auto attack is what he was trying there. If he did get one more, that would definitely have been a kill. With a tree toss afterwards. But still, he's getting experience. He's still pretty close to a creep wave. This is obviously not easy, and he might very well die again if he goes a little bit too far down. But he's having a better time than Batrider, and that's normally what you have to do as an offlaner. You compare yourself with the enemy offlaner. Yeah. You're not comparing yourself with the enemy carry, because that is normally foolish.
So with all of the supports, the defensive tri-lanes kind of being forced by the offlaners here one way or another. This mid lane in a natural 1v1. Actually, we'll come back to this thought in a second because Jabs just keeps going in. Diving for this Batrider who's...
still.
I mean, the Firefly just doesn't do anything. It's tickling Jabs.
He goes level 2 though.
He achieved that. Oh, he got a level, did he? Yeah. There we go. Sticky napalm's up, but Batrider's dead again. 3 in a row.
Accumulated like 60 experience from dying once more.
He does have quadruple rage creeps coming in, actually.
Yeah.
He's got a TP scroll, so this is okay.
That is juicy. They have to punish Batrider right now. They have to dive in. Nice Stalker. Don't run too far away. He has to be here.
So that most recent death is like a super reasonable death, honestly. He's going to get a ton of experience. Mushi is burning.
One of the best spots. One of the best spots to stay alive on Batrider is that little cliff there. It's very hard for an enemy to actually reach you. You can even fly a little bit farther north to a waterfall.
Oh, they're trying bottom, maybe? No vision. Can't catch. Ice.
OP
While
going
mid lane
for DD rune gets it, but
Spirit Siphon's ready. 1 charge. So yeah, the mid kind of natural 1v1. Nighttime is here though. How are things going for the puck and DP? It just looks like a straight up trade of farm.
Definitely, they're both obviously. Either player could win in this lane. It's not necessarily a wash. They're just dealing some damage. Not going to be able to kill anything. They have no silence on the DP yet. Maybe Air Spirit overcommitted here.
Oh, with Tiny arriving, definitely. I don't know. I didn't even see Ice come in, but he's going to toss OP back into the puck. Now, finally, DDC arrives, but it seems like it may just be too little too late. Moon jaunts forward, and OP is getting chipped away at. Moon with a double kill on the puck. Very nicely done from Mineski.
Everything was nice and calm, but then everything balled out of control, and that's sort of on their own accord. They went in with the Earth Spirit trying to get a gank on mid lane, but if they just stayed away from mid lane and focused on the other lanes harder, perhaps mid would still have been decent for OP.
Oh, Batrider again in trouble. Mushi's there with a rage. And this TP might just actually work. Oh, the Fade Bolt level 2.
Yeah, it's a struggle when you're still fighting so hard to get experience. He's level 4 now though, so he's managed to get himself some. Actually out leveling the Tiny a little bit. Yeah. Just a little bit.
Those 4 deaths.
Yeah,
looking not too bad for Batrider. You know, numerically you're thinking, he's feeding off lane, but a lot of these deaths, you know, he calculates the kind of risk-reward of how much gold experience, pressure am I getting onto this lifestealer? How am I forcing supports to be here? Am I getting levels myself?
It's an unfortunate situation where if he does nothing, he's not going to be able to get a single thing in this game. So he has to go, even though he will die, and it's not like it surprises him that he dies. He knows that there's a very real possibility.
It's like, I'm probably going to die here, but if I get a level and a half, 3 CS or something, it'll be okay. Poor DDC toss.
Ice is like, you want food? Here.
Oh, yes.
Eat this troll.
Killing spree for Moon now. This puck is off to a stellar start.
A great start for sure. And when you have that early double talisman, your boots, your magic wand, and even the raindrops, he's going to be looking quite strong here. Of course, the same can be said for DP. She has the same things, but no boots yet. Not delivered yet.
Tries to go in a little bit onto the puck, but Moon now out of mana.
Ice. Is he gonna get out of this one? The rift was a little bit unfortunate actually. Put him in the trees.
Toss the CK back. There's another rift in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, and they have that Orb of Venom, so he's gonna even rift to try and get the KS, but doesn't get it. Meanwhile, we see the other offlaner as well going down. This is a brutal game to watch as an offlaner. We have accumulated 8 deaths in 7 minutes on the 2 offlanes together.
It's getting insane, honestly, now. 0-5, 0-3. I mean, Ice has got a couple of assists to his name, but what's the plan for Inflame now? He's got a bracer, he's moving into a bottle. At
some point, you just wish that the Witch Doctor starts stacking up jungle a little bit for him so that he can recover somewhere. Because Batrider is definitely one of those heroes like Darkseer who can pull into jungle and just get a lot of farm real quick. Night Stalker even dropping a nice ward here, gonna catch out if jungling is exactly what Bat will be doing. It is.
And they know exactly where this Batrider is.
Yeah.
So Ninja Boogie feels...
Don't see why he shouldn't go in and poke him here, deal some damage, and not let him get this farm. Even steal the Centaur. It's like, oh, you want money? No, sorry, bro.
Oh, Firefly's down. Okay, what are you going to do for the next 40 seconds or so, huh?
Exactly. He could even go down and body block one of the camps if he wants to stop some of the farm right now. But he's going to secure the rune. That's enough.
Nice little bounty rune. So, middle lane, OP, what are we looking at now? The roll in from Alfu not going to connect because Moon has moved down towards bottom to try and find DDC. Denies the rune. Very nicely done, but it looks like he's just going to die again.
Similar story to before.
Gets collapsed on.
DDC is just playing a little bit too risky here, I feel, on his Witch Doctor. He does not survive in the river against a Tiny and a Puck. There's no way. So many ways that he can die there, and he's just not fast enough to really get out of it.
And Puck is controlling these runes really nicely, but it definitely feels like Ice is the one coming in and saying, hey, DDC's missing. He's looking for the rune. Oh, nice. Phase shift gets away from the silence. Afu unable to connect
silence,
here.
Though.
Now DP ripping apart Moon, and there's no jaunt to an orb. The Maledict damage looking good enough, and down goes the Puck. A 3-hero rotation in on top of the DP standing mid. Gets them a kill on the little fairy dragon, and they can turn this into a tier 1 push, maybe. I mean, Mushi is coming in to defend, so potentially LFY, think twice about this.
He's probably just going to claim the farm here, and that will be the end of this push. I don't see how they're going to try and take a full tower out of it, but they got some damage onto it after getting a kill on the mid Puck, who they have been trying to kill for a long time, too.
Hey, Waga.
Yes?
Lifesteal is making Battle Fury.
Of course he is. He's melee. Come on, man. Get with the times. Get with the times.
Oh man, I love this so much.
So, I've been looking at this Batrider because he has the item, the sigil thing on the ground, you know? It looks like Meteor Hammer sometimes. It looks weird.
Oh yeah, the kind of blue Ripley effect, right?
Yeah, like when he was in the river in particular, looked more like it. That item is apparently worth a lot, like $2,500?
Something like that, yeah. I remember looking it up when he first got it, and I think he bought it for like 3, and then it went up to 7. You know, one of those weird.
Buy it for 3.
Yeah.
Some Bitcoin.
$3,000, crazy. Well, Monet bitten off a little more than he can chew here, maybe.
Oh.
Does get a load of 1 charges off, and now turning to fight. Is Monet getting out of this? Nah, 3 heroes against 1. No help from the rest of his team. DDC is saying, I'm not getting involved in this one.
That's why you have to be careful not playing too close to enemy tower when there's a Puck on their team and there's a Tiny. This time, Puck didn't even TP down there. He was just setting up for that kill already. So CK got himself in trouble by being so far up, and that delays his armlet. He was very close to the armlet, and now he has to get back to the lane, start farming a little bit more, and then he can finally bring it out.
Yeah.
Puck looking for more. He wants something.
Yeah, you've made this rotation bottom. Get the most out of it. But yeah, that armlet would have timed up really nicely with the next DP ulti as well if he had not died there. Because DP ulti ready in about 20 seconds, could have maybe looked for a play towards one of these tier 1 towers. But right now, the scan up top.
There's a massive level disparity between the two teams right now in terms of supports. If you only focus on the supports and look at what levels they're at, we actually see level 6.5 and level 7 pretty much on the 2 Mineski supports. And looking over to LFY, you have 2 level 5 heroes, just barely level 5 as well. So that makes a big difference in terms of how strong hero rotations are.
I wish we knew if they had already used the tome. Yeah, Mushi. He's bought his Demon Edge. It's on the courier, so he's spent the majority of his money. Now getting the TP, the phase boots, but not enough to get away from the Death Prophet. The double null phase on her. Tons of right-click damage.
I like Afu tanking the tower with Sal just waiting for the creep wave to come because he was trying to keep the siege creep alive. Just a nice little detail there for the push. But that's a big kill getting down the Lifestealer. Everyone was focused on bottom lane, and Lifestealer was a little bit of an open target for them.
Oh, there we go. Witch Doctor gets the tome. Nice. So that's going to push DDC up to... which one would you prefer? Magnetize or Death Ward here?
Magnetize normally for me.
Yeah.
I don't think Death Ward is so easy to make use of. Most of the time, you will see Magnetize being prioritized because it's easier to get... out there, right? Like, if the enemy overcommits, Death Ward can be amazing, but Magnetize is always strong.
Way more consistent. Yeah, DDC gives it to Afu.
Typically, the position 4 hero is the one who gets it as well. It's just normally the way it goes. Nice ward drop there. Scouts pretty much everyone being mid.
Yeah, I saw the dark green on my map and I was like,
he's going bottom.
What's Ninja Boogie doing down here? Oh, he's dropping a ward.
Diving.
Now he's looking for DDC. In goes Ice, and down goes DDC. Fade bolted into the ground, but they do roll in with Afu looking for the Rubik. Now Jabs taken out of the game as the Bat Riders caught one on the back end. They get the final bit of damage from
That's good punishment.
Firefly.
Definitely good punishment. The kill was not worth it, let's say. Witch Doctor is a great hero to bait with. And still, he was level 5, right? Because he didn't read that book, so not a high-value kill.
Almost level 6 as he TP's mid to try and save OP, but the Night Stalker and the Puck have already cleared up the DP.
This is the thing, though, that you don't have a great save, right? There's no Oracle ulti, there's no Grave, so whenever DP gets jumped like this, they can feel pretty confident that they are going to be able to bring her down. And Night Stalker silence, Puck silence. It's not a fun time to be DP against that.
Again, it feels like one of those lineups where LFY kind of have to defend the DP through aggression, you know, have the fear of the Bat or the CK, but if they're showing on lanes, you know, Batrider's farming bot still, does get his blink now, so a nice little bonus for LFY. But if they're showing on lanes, then the OP DP is super open, definitely.
In general, they have been very good about being aggressive and taking the driver's seat in all these engagements, but they had to counter gank bottom simply, and yeah, any moment like that, you're gonna look towards Ninja Boogie to get aggressive. And this time, though, he's gone a little bit too far.
That's a nice little kill there for Ro4 as well. So they know that Night Stalker has likely been in this jungle warding, but I don't think they'll understand how deep he's been able to get these wards, honestly. He's done a great job.
That's the thing, it's very hard to cover the entire possible warding area in the early game when you play against a hero who invades your jungle like that. If they're only, you know, slightly going in there, sure, but he's been running around everywhere.
Well, here comes the first infest bomb with a Battle Fury lifestealer. Veil is up on Puck. Yeah, no blink for Moon.
Really risky, actually, but I think they might catch OP here. We'll see.
Everyone is silence, though. OP is looking pretty decent here with a Spirit Siphon until the Night Stalker arrives with the silence and the stun. Mushi rips forward, looking for this cleave damage from this Battle Fury, but is struggling to get it in onto the CK. It's down to this Puck to jump forward and find the damage as Ninja Boogie with jabs do clear up Ro4. LFY, they've lost 2 here, and likely their tier 1 tower, but I mean, that was so quick and snappy from Mineski. Like, one target into the second target, there was no spread of damage, there was no messing around. It was very decisive and clear as they get the Batrider as well. 3 from nothing. Thin air manipulated into wonderful bits of golden experience for Mineski.
That was such an important fight for them because they didn't really have the tools to fight yet on the side of Mineski. Battle Fury, of course, not quite enough to say that Lifesteer is online for fighting, and no blink Puck, but still, they got it so cleanly.
Yeah, it feels super good to win that fight, like you're saying, without the kind of the toolbox that you need. But then winning the fight gives you that toolbox, so the next fight's going to be easier and easier. You know, that
it is
that
kind of
momentum.
Easier. And speaking of toolbox, I kind of hate to come back to this because we've already covered it, but it really shows the downside of not having a hard save hero.
Yeah.
Because everyone was behind, everyone knew the OP was going to get gone on, he knew that he was going to get jumped, but there's nothing they can do about it. If he gets jumped, he's going to die. So that's a very annoying feeling to have in the back of your head as a DP.
And like you were saying in the draft, you know, this Yule Scepter from DP, sure, will be able to maybe save you from, you know, the Puck initiation, the Infest Bomb, but then Night Stalker comes in and silences you again, or the Tiny Avalanche tosses you. So the Yules, you know, that one-time use of safety, it has to buy time for the rest of your team to get, you know, a sick Blink Lasso, a big Reality Rift with all these illusions of CK. But we really
need to look towards CK getting his Blink Dagger pretty much. After the Echo Saber, if he goes Blink, perhaps he can salvage some of these scenarios by being earlier at getting in on the fight. Perhaps he can disrupt the initiation coming from Ice's Eyes. We'll see what's going to happen. Lifesteer did just finish farming a triple stack of Ancients and now infesting into a Puck.
Oh man, what's he got? Battle Fury Armlet, 16 minutes in, with a Blade of Alacrity.
Yeah, now he's definitely a lot stronger in the fight as well. That Armlet makes a big difference, and that's a kill.
Oh dearie me, that is a very quick kill.
2 hits from the Lifestealer with the spells of Puck, yeah. That's not...
Mineski not done just yet. If LFY stick around too far forward, if they have any conceivable notion of defending this tier 1, they're going to get destroyed. So
Ninja Boogie really sending a message there, running in even under a tower just to do a nuke. He's like, by the way, I'm on you. There's even Tranquil Boots on the Earth Spirit. It's like, it's not about lasting damage, it's just send a message.
Well, this tier 1 is ours. If you try and defend, you will die. A Moon Puck moving up towards top potentially here as LFY smoking CK and the Witch Doctor to try and make a play here, but Mineski have already fallen back. They've left this tier 1 alive.
See, the thing about playing against a lineup with the Puck Infests is that you can't really play the slow and steady. You could be farming your CK, right? You could just sit and free farm all the time, but it's so easy for them to go down there and pick him off, even if he's doing that. So they're trying to be aggressive, trying to look for any fights that they can get. This smoke gank is not going to be successful, and of course that's a lot of time that this CK was not farming. And he isn't farming as fast as the Lifesteal with Battle Fury, that's for sure. Even when he is.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting concept. You've got these There's Tiny to cleave creeps. You've got Battle Fury, Lifestealer. Everyone's farming on Mineski. The Puck's clearing out waves. And then LFY, they need to fight.
Yeah, they get dragged into it. It's not really a voluntary decision.
Oh.
So normally you kind of want to just farm your CK until you have a heart or something and then blink BKB and just fight.
Should the Chaos Knight have bought Battle Fury?
I don't think so.
Come on, Waga!
he should have been a Spectre with Battle Fury.
Should have been a Spectre with Battle Fury.
Well,
okay.
No, okay. He can't really get dragged into that. The armlet is simply too high value for his ulti.
Yeah, they just need to find the fights that work for them. And now they've got at least the Yules on OP. Moving into a BKB now, again, just down that road of need defensive items.
Exactly. If my supports are not gonna save, if my supports are not gonna save me, I have to do it myself. He's gonna Yules himself and then BKB, or just use BKB and keep aggressive Yules, which can be great too.
Monet thinking about a BKB of his own. Oh,
Moshi,
that just happened so quickly.
Thinking about some Batrider once again. The 8th time that the Batrider goes down in this game. It's really not been easy for him.
Yeah, Inflame, with that Blink Dagger, maybe expect a few plays from him as his team was starting to group up middle lane, but making a play top to try and keep Mineski away from that tier 1. Unfruitful for now, as they may just have to wait for Inflame to be alive to actually go and do anything. OP farming bottom lane, the rest of them trying to herd back Mineski mid as they do slice down the Rubik.
That damage, yeah, I mean it's still a CK, he still hits really hard whenever he gets allowed to get a few swings off. And with the Chain Stun, they definitely have damage. They're coming in mid, they want to defend this. Night Stalker is gauging for a kill here. Puck TPing in.
And the Infest out. CK just doesn't look too happy about the situation. Nice little boulder smash to keep Mineski at bay for a little while, but the chase will never stop now, surely. OP, he's popped his ulti, Exorcism to turn this one back around, but Ice sees the target. They've chosen to go on with the lasso there. The Puck blinks back in, and a double kill for Mushi. It looks pretty nice for LFY, though, if OP is allowed to stay alive, but the damage is so strong. Now, the Spirit Siphons, OP's still going. Now the Lifesteal is dropping. LFY, how have you done this? OP was kept up and running throughout the entirety of that fight.
He made great use of that Yule Scepter, timed it perfectly, and he had so many Spirit Siphons going at the same time. The Night Stalker was not able to disjoint the DP when DP started running in and chasing Tiny down initially. He had the silence ready. I wonder if he should just have used it and tried to force out the Yules from DP. But now she was allowed to keep it for a long time, made great use of it for staying alive even longer. And that is the entire BKB done on OP pretty much.
Huge. That's a
crazy fight.
That's without Armlet Phantasm as well. Like, I'm just looking at this thinking, CK was a non-factor. That was a 4v5 potentially, but Mineski did use quite a few spells on that CK to bring him down, and then still walked back into LFY. But whoever made that call to turn and stand and fight on LFY, godlike decision.
It was very well executed as well, but you have to respect the Exorcism. Whenever you're close to Death Prophet, her damage is it's insane. You have to get away from her, create some distance. If one guy gets caught, it's easy to try and go in to save him. That's what happened. They just kind of clumped up, and then they were stuck. They were being slowed up by a sticky napalm. They had the Spirit Siphon on them, and no one was getting away from that one.
So are we going to be looking for a Mushi Assault Cuirass soon or something along those lines?
No, he's going to be fine this time, actually. He has a little bit of help from their spirits.
Afu there, ready to save the day. But yeah, like, Mushi's next item feels like it's super important. Like, going for an AC seems pretty nice, but I don't know.
Yeah, he finishes up the entire Sanshasha first, and I agree, having an armor item is really, really nice here. You could argue that the Desolator is nice, but I think Assault Cuirass into Nullifier could be a nice build.
Well, Roshan down to 2,000 HP as Mineski jump in, but there's OP's BKB Exorcism in 5 seconds. Monet stays alive with a double damage rune still going. He armor toggles himself through the damage of Mineski, and OP's BKB now wears off, but the Exorcism is ready to go. Mineski have lost their puck. Are they thinking about going back in? Potentially they are. Jabs and Mushi into the pit. Roshan dead to the dire, and the take from Mushi. Now he takes down OP and he munches on DDC.
He's like, I'm DP, let's go push.
Lifestealer's so hungry, Waga. He wants more. Inflame, caught by Ice, tossed back into Ninja Boogie. Moshi says thank you very much, but Jabs will steal that kill as the Ghost's Exorcism in the hands of Rubik. Really looking good as Mineski take that fight.
It's a very nice spell to steal on Rubik, and obviously it's level 2 exorcism. He's going to be able to keep it as well for the next fight if he wants to. 113 seconds. He could hold on to that and just use it for one more big team fight, big push.
And it's so hard for DP to not give it away, right? Because Silence and Crypt Swarm both have really kind of awkward, animations, cast animations. So.
For sure. The only one that's really quick is the Spirit Siphon, but then you need a target close to you, so it's not that easy to do it. That was a really nice little engagement there for the Dire. This game is going very back and forth now, with LFY taking the previous fight so heavily, and now back in Mineski's corner.
Yeah, Mineski back in the kind of driving seat, resetting to where they were several minutes ago, pretty much identical there.
They have some big items as well. They have Blink Dagger on Rubik with, half of a Yule Scepter as well being built. And they're starting to get that Solar Crest on Night Stalker. He's probably going to run over and finish it soon. So that's going to help him stay alive quite a bit against the CK.
Oh, yeah. Or even just putting it on his own Lifestealer if
saving
close to the DP. But a great all-round item there. We have it. Solar Crest on Ninja Boogie. As Moon, after Veil, Blink Yule's aiming for this Aghanim Scepter. Again, we're looking at these 2 BKB carries over on LFY. No saving support, so...
It's a great item against Death Prophet. You just need to stop her from running in, and when you already see, as you said, the double BKB coming out, then Aghanim's own puck is already going to be good in that game. But just DP's nature, she needs to run after targets, needs to keep chasing. If she commits to ulti and then gets puck ultied, that can very much stop the entire fight.
Well, LFY... all having a bit of a hand-holding session in the jungle
Looking
here,
like
farming jungle
smoke,
camps,
but there are wards around, and it could be a very, very bad time to smoke if they do it. Lanes are also quite pushed, so not the easiest time to get away with doing it.
So you were mentioning Blink on Monet's CK earlier on, and it would have given him a chance to, preemptively Phantasm, jump in, Reality Rift, and find a target for themselves. BKB, much more of a kind of reactive item, it feels like. But we haven't seen a good Phantasm yet because he's always being jumped on.
Exactly. It's a very good item to have the Blink because it allows you to pick your target a little bit, where he has mostly just been in the center of the fight, and the AoE has been enough to burst him down, and here's the Batrider getting gone on again. Same combo as before, just puck infest, and that's enough to kill pretty much anyone on the side of LFY apart from the DP.
Yeah. At least the Batrider isn't 0, 10, and 6. He's got a couple of kills to his name.
He's been part of stuff. He definitely was instrumental in the DP killing everyone on mid lane. The Sticky Napalm combined with Death Prophet, definitely a scary combination.
Oh yeah,
that they have going for them.
That turn rate's slow.
Yeah, it's so annoying. Even just the slow itself and then Spirit Siphon slowing you as well brings you down to such a standstill.
Mineski though, the classic move. Start getting really deep wards in here. Look for the smokes. Look for this push out of the base and just, hem LFY back into these tier 3s. They'll be looking for this tier 2 tower in short order, but for now, just keep farming away. You know that LFY aren't really in a position to run into your Aegis Lifestealer, and you were mentioning the Nullifier, and it's here for Mushi.
Yeah.
Main target DP, I guess?
He buys it he buys it one item earlier than I expected, but with the puck infest ganks, that makes a lot of sense, because you can silence the enemy with the puck, and then you just use Nullifier as well, and you could kill anyone. Even the DP and the CK are good targets. And I believe if they jump on Death Prophet and she Yules herself, you can Yules her down and she cannot BKB. If you nullify the Yules, that is. You can purge her down from the Yule Scepter.
Okay.
So that's a really strong item.
That's big.
Yeah, people are starting to realize when it's good, because at first we didn't see it used at all, but lately, like the last 3 weeks or so, we have started seeing more use of the Nullifier than ever.
Well, LFY finally get the ball in their court. Start a bit of a push on bottom lane, force Mineski to react, but then you look at the rest of the map. Top lane is at Radiant Tier 3, and LFY, they're like, hang on a second, we've got to come back and deal with this. We'll TP away.
They really do. Night Stalker, he senses that this could be a moment for him to go in. He doesn't want to be ultra aggressive in doing so, though, because, his team can't really keep up with him if he charges in. But they're going to see the people running back now. Witch Doctor runs into a ward, so they get information that everyone pulled back.
But I do like that. LFY kind of try and time a fight around Roshan expiring, or Aegis expiring.
They're just going for something up here. The scan was successful in finding.
It's OP as well.
Let's see if he can do the Nullifier play.
This is a big target to go on, but they've switched over to the CK. He gets his BKB Phantasm off, and now Mushi, he's deep in here with the exorcism going. They've got to turn and run. Oh, it's a silence stolen by Jabs. That's not the ghosts he was looking for. As the Fascia from Puck, now the blink from Moon gets a little bit of distance away. LFY scared though.
Still
panicking.
one fight. Yeah, still one fight by Mineski, despite the fact that they're so fast at getting out of the fight.
Wow.
So that was really, really big. They forced the BKB on both the cores. They forced the CK ulti and the DP ulti. This is pretty much go time. Yeah. You can't see a better opportunity than this one.
That's it feels like that's 70-80% of LFY's strength in team fights now gone down the drain.
At least their damage, yeah, their control is still there, but what good is it if you can't kill anyone, right? So Mineski definitely looking to do some damage here. Oh, be careful, Inflame.
Number 11 coming up right now. Batrider dies again. Mushi on a killing spree this time.
The Nullfire has such a satisfying sound. I really love it. I want to buy it more just for that reason.
I want it to have a nicer projectile. It's so like minuscule and puny, like a little purple thing flying out. But Witch Doctor Glimmer will not save you from the outright nonsense Mineski's throwing you away. Looking for the tier 2. Should be an easy bring down for them.
There's no way you go in and fight this, and they know that. Mineski are playing very aggressive here because they have a good read that the opponents do not want to fight. Their 2 cores are not ready, and they're going to keep going, I believe, just to do some high ground damage as well here. They might very well get this tower.
Inflame alive in 20. Really does not want to buy back at this point, but 13 seconds until he respawns. Tier 3 might just be given away here. No glyph available for LFY. Tiny jumping in, Avalanche, but a great silence comes out. Arfu maybe saving the day here as Isis Ice forced to run away. Mushi sprinting out with the help of Jabs and Ninja Boogie, giving away his own life potentially. But the Yules onto the Earth Spirit means that the catch, the chase, it has been taken out of the hands of LFY. And Mineski, they're out of here. They only lose Tiny.
Yeah, and they're so fine losing Tiny. One big thing that we haven't really talked about is the duration of the BKB, right? Oh my god, he goes out and gets caught again. Inflame really not having a good game here. But yeah, the duration of the BKBs is really important, because now it's down to 7 seconds on the DP, and it's down to 8 seconds on the CK. Once those get down on the lowest number, when they get down all the way to the 5, it's not going to be nice against a Puck, against a Rubik, Night Stalker. So these are BKB usages that need to get more done.
They need to get something done. It feels like they're
Earth Spirits.
trying to escape
trouble
and survive, but Arfu dead in his own jungle.
They have great wards down and they just play towards it. They punish so quickly. Even the Rubik turned himself into an Infest Bomb for the Lifestealer. Since he has to blink Yules, he can just initiate super hard. And that Chaos Bolt is a good spell to have.
A nice little stun, a bit of damage. Mushi now moving into a Lincoln's, realizing that really the only thing here that can catch and kill him is the Batrider Blink Lasso Full Staff back into Fountain or something along those lines.
It also messes with the combination coming out from CK whenever he wants to get that stun and rift on you, because that's really how he brings you down. He stuns you and then lowers your armor for 7 and pulls every illusion close and kills you. But if you can't do both of those things, it's going to be hard for him to burst you. So, Shrine being taken. This is the 2nd Shrine already. Things are just flying by here as Mineski start taking control of everything. 18,000 advantage.
Yeah. I'm just looking at that. Closing in on 20,000. I mean, the last time we saw LFY get a kill was Tiny dying back in that
and that was so costly
engagement. There are just no green dots here for a whole bunch of the game. I mean, back what, 23 minutes in? That's a good 10 minutes ago was the last real team fight that LFY put up a challenge to Mineski. Since then, it has been a one-way street.
It was that one fight on mid. That's the only thing that really went their way in this game so far. And Mushi, he is completing the entire Linkensphere before the next fight here. Oh, the top lane is already shoving in, so I don't think that you can leave your base like this, LFY. They know Roche is up, and they're fearful that that might be the quest here for Mineski. But they're just going to Infest Bomb again. They have Arcane Rune on Puck this time.
That scan may have been a false positive there. Mineski see a hint of red as LFY, they're skirting the edge. No observer wards in this exact area, but Mineski seem to know pretty much where they are as they have wards leading up to the hill.
Oh yeah, they're picking them out. They've seen them now as well with a ward from the Radiant base, even seeing the high ground. They get scanned themselves, but they're going to deward and start playing around the Roche area. They could just go for it, but maybe they want to use it as a bait.
Oh man, the
They're
aggressive
going for a
play.
kill. Oh.
Who can they catch? Is it Inflame again? Well, they're going to go in the DP, but she gets off her BKB. Exits him now from OP, but Mushi's chasing down DDC. He's going to get ripped apart as Afu does chase in. Now they've got the stun. Can they chain down the Lifestealer? Monet's doing a decent chunk of damage here, but Mushi has sprinted up to the high ground. Very speedy Lifestealer gets out of danger as Ninja Boogie dropping low, but Monet not able to secure that kill as the lasso finally arrives. A year into this fight, and Inflame gets a spell off, but it's not going to be enough here. They'll bring down 3. Mineski do get forced back, but Moon's still trying to play around this. The Lifestealer's not getting involved again, though. It looks like he is completely out of there as Moon. Oh, the Yule's up. Can you blink away, though? Face shift again. Blink is ready, and an orb as well. Nice play. Moon gets over the hills and far enough away for Mushi to arrive and come back in. Batrider. Oh, dear, that's not where you want it to be.
Yeah, Lifestealer just sitting around waiting for a chance to be useful. He's like, can you just bring them over to me? I don't want to run into this fight. So that was still a very good fight for LFY, you have to say. Cred to them for the extremely fast reaction whenever they get jumped by Puck Lifestealer. We still have not seen the Nullifier stop anyone from using their BKB when they jump them. The Death Prophet was really quick there at just making sure she doesn't get bursted. And same thing, of course, for CK. He has good positioning. With that Blink Dagger, he is able to get better jumps now as well. But he still needs more damage. He does have the Rift Pierce's spell immune. That's a really useful thing to have against a Lifestealer.
Yeah.
Getting that on level 20 is definitely helpful.
Definitely feels good for the CK there. And see where he heads into next. Assault Cuirass is on its way, but quite distant for him. As we're looking at an Eon Disc for the Death Prophet coming up in not too long. OP deciding that just in case that Nullifier does land next time, be able to pop out of it.
It's a sad thing, though, buying Eon Disc against the Nullifier, because it goes both ways. If he does not use the Nullifier and they just attack you, you can actually purge off the Eon Disc. So that's you can't rely on it. And I'm not sure I'm in love with this item here that OP is deciding on. Sure, it's an okay item, but I'm not so convinced that it's going to be the item for him. Because he can't heal as well. Spirit Siphon does not heal you during it.
Oh, OP. Trying to contest this Roshan. In comes Mushi, though, with Ice. Oh dear, the DP can't cast any spells, and with a Glimmer Cape on her, still the Yule Scepter is late. 50 HP, gets a bit from the wand as well, but it's not enough. Mineski run rampant now over the rest of LFY. They've lost their Death Prophet. Chaos Knight does arrive with a big hit and crit in onto Ninja Boogie, but now he stands alone. 1 versus 3. Batrider offers no safety whatsoever, and LFY might just have to call it.
He just doesn't do any damage onto a Lifestealer when he goes there. There's too much armor on Lifestealer, 28 armor, 20% evasion, and you're simply not killing him as a CK here. That was one time that the Nullifier did work before the BKB, and that decided the fight. Everything was just over from that point. Yeah. The Death Prophet was dead, and then you just have to scramble and run. Meanwhile, Puck chasing the Batrider here. It's like, get back here.
And Flame's doing a good amount of damage with a Firefly, but yeah. Looks like he'll just go for the blink out. BKB now up for the Batrider as DDC holds the line middle lane.
Another Infest car? He doesn't have 3 blink heroes in his team that he can go in. But
I was so sure Isis Ice just jumps in on that Witch Doctor, but maybe didn't see him. Playing safely now on the Tiny. Looking for these racks mid. Double catapult is here. Very, very easy takedown. You've tossed the catapult into the towers, Isis Ice. That's not what you're meant to do.
They did that yesterday as well, I believe. Or at least there was some Tiny. No, that wasn't them. That was someone else doing it. There seems to be a misunderstanding about how siege creeps work. They weigh more, so they're tossable, right? Throw them in.
Just don't want them to miss uphill, you know?
For sure. Fixing it. Oh, they're looking for a sneaky little wraparound towards the mid.
Oh, OP's used his Shiver's Guard. Is this a go?
They don't quite have the Rubik there. That's the only reason I see that they wouldn't go there. Rubik was far away and he had creeps on him. But now...
Very close. Blink on blink. Batrider's BKB, it's here, but what does it do for you now? The CK, okay, damage into Ice, bringing Tiny lower and lower, but he pops his cheese, and now the chase, hey, it's come to nothing. What have you done? The DP being ripped apart by Mushi, even with that Glimmer Cape, even with the Ghosts going, it's not going to be enough. Jabs, in fact, has stolen Exorcism, that's where the Ghosts are coming from, and forcing out that good game. LFY.
Yeah, he's hunting, look at him.
Tap out of game number 1, DDC. Oh, good night, my sweet prince. Are you going to stay alive? Oh, fair enough. Okay. Doesn't die before the game ends, but...
Beautiful under itemization here, and really good play towards the Infest bombs throughout the entirety of the game. They made use of it early, and that forced LFY to kind of get into this fighting groove. They had to try and fight up against Mineski. That was a much more aggressive lineup, and they didn't really find momentum against them. They had a good... setup for themselves, Mineski. Night Stalker, I believe, something we didn't really go through over the match, but that reduced vision makes it so hard to be the aggressor in these scenarios. Going into enemy jungle and looking for a way to kill someone is not that easy. But I think what was instrumental to their success here is that they got the first team fight working so well for them. When they only had the Battle Fury on Lifestealer, they didn't have the blink on the puck. They really didn't have any tools on anyone apart from just the spells that they bring to the fight, and they made it work.
Because it was around here, right, where Battle Fury, Lifestealer, Veil Puck, and then all of a sudden it's just instant again, 2 minutes later, Armlet Blink, and it's like, okay, this has gone from being decently good to being spectacular pretty much. For this
exactly.
side.
And once they finished that Nullifier as well, it was such a key item in this game as well. I like they went for it before the Assault Cuirass and let the Tiny go for the Assault Cuirass instead, because that's a very natural item for him anyway.
Yeah, and then you can kind of see just like the BKB is just like, we need a BKB, we need another BKB, we need another BKB. LFY were just on the back foot reacting to items, just continually throughout that game.
It really brings me, some sadness seeing that they played this matchup and they really didn't have any save against this puck Lifestealer. Anyone who got jumped was basically just dead, and that was the end of that.
DDC Dazzle, come on, let's see it.
Yeah, we need
DDC Oracle.
Need them to play something that can keep them alive, or maybe they will bring some different style altogether. Because this DP type play didn't really work out so well in game 1, but this is the best of 3. Yeah. They still have 2 games to go if they manage to take down the next game. That is
absolutely. Maybe we'll see the OP Tinker come out next. That might be an option for them. But we'll take a short break. Games have been running very quickly back to back, so game 2 coming up in just a moment.